time for something a little bit different on my channel, because as some of you possibly know, I collect IBM Thinkpads. Have done for a while now and have quite a few, and this one came today, so I thought, well, let's do a video of it and see if people want more. Really? Oh, my hands are filthy. So let's give this a go. Let's unbox this 99p IBM Thinkpad T43. Yes, hello everybody, how are you today? It's a bit of a test for me to see how doing a technology video goes, to see if anybody watches it, and I want you to critique it as well. Because if you want to see more, you tell me what to do, because I'm not really, there won't be many of these. This channel is mainly for vacuum cleaners, but I've got the channel, I like ThinkPads, let's give it a go. So this came today, this is the inner wrap. I have opened it just to check what it was, but I haven't actually turned it on. All I have done is check that this charger, which I happen to have at work for the little IdeaPad S205 that we use, will fit. And plugged it in, battery light came on, which it would do when there's power applied, and that's it. So here it is. This cost me 99 pence plus £4 something postage and packaging, and it is the classic IBM Thinkpad T range. This is a T43 266846G, which, if you know what you do, you can get all the specs from. I should have printed them out for this really, but I forgot. But this is untested because the guy didn't have a charger. So let's start at the top. We have the classic ThinkPad logo, because this would have been, the T43 was at the crossover. Lenovo had bought them out, I think. No. Yes, manufactured for Lenovo. So Lenovo bought them out by this point. My T40 doesn't say that, but this is an IBM designed laptop, and I think they tooled it up as well. So the top cover in its matte finish is in very good condition. There are a few dinks on the corners, but there always will be, I'm afraid. On these we have the classic T-series layout of VGA and CD drive, optical drive on that side, and the hard drive. I think it's got a hard drive in it, but I don't actually know. And then all the ports down there with the PCI slot and the parallel power there. Battery wise, it has a battery. I have no idea if it is any good. It is an original battery though, the smaller battery that these came with. Don't know if it holds a charge or not, haven't got that far. Let's open her up to reveal the interior, which is used. You can see there are wear marks all around it. The Windows XP sticker is showing a little bit of damage, but the keyboard actually looks brand new. I think this can't be the same keyboard, because there is no, you can see the trackpad glistening away there. The keyboard is spotless, which is good. In fact, even the track point cap on the keyboard is absolutely mint, although it's got a little bit hard, as they all do, but they're normally worn down to nothing, so that's very good. The screen doesn't outwardly look broken, but I don't actually know. However, this has the WXGA screen, which is going to be fantastic if it works, because my T43 just has the XGA screen. So I'm sort of hoping that this does work, and at the very least the screen works. All the rest of it I'm not too fussed about. For 99p I have a better keyboard than my T43 and a better screen. So without much further ado, because there's not a lot more I can really tell you about it, if I put that there, we shall plug it in and wait for the battery light to come on. So the little light down there is flashing. I don't know what it's going to do. I haven't turned it on yet. Ooh. So we have a very red screen. sort of dark pinky red to me. But that's not terrible. That's not as red as it looks in the camera. So the screen works. Let's see how it boots, because I don't know. Really? Oh, fan error. That's interesting. Okay. And then it will shut down. I've had a fan error on my X60 tablet, and it did exactly the same thing and just shut down. But that's not insurmountable. Let's turn it back on again and get into the BIOS and see what specs it's got. So we'll press access IBM, which interrupts the boot, and I think I can get into the BIOS with the fan error. I'm fairly sure I can, although if not, we can still have a look at some of the specs. I think he's got 1.8 gigahertz Pentium M. Are you going to get into the BIOS before you do that? No. Okay, so we can't get into the BIOS. Battery hasn't held a charge on that little point, but the screen works. That is actually most of what I really care about. Everything else is just a little bit of a bonus. So let's tear it down a little bit and see if we can fix this fan error enough to get it to boot. So I have my micro screwdriver set, which should have a light, but it's never worked. Taking the battery out, and we'll start by taking the hard drive out just to mainly see if it's got one. So the one screw comes out, and once you've opened the lid, which I should have done first, there we go, the hard drive falls out. It does have a hard drive. It has an original hard drive. We have a 40 gigabyte Toshiba hard drive with the IBM FRU. So this is possibly the original hard drive for it. And if I just shake it ever so gently, it doesn't seem to be rattly. So that is fantastic thing number one. Next, we need to remove the screws for the... Oh, there you go, the little light's turning on there. We'll leave it on. I don't think this is a magnetic screwdriver either, which is going to be a bit of a pain in the bum. So there are 4 screws that hold the keyboard in place. And that should, for now, be all we need to take off. I didn't need to take the hard drive out, but I thought we would, just to see if it had one, because if it didn't, we wouldn't be going very much further. Even if we fixed the fan error, would we? I've had this a few times on various ThinkPads. Like that screw is a little bit... This keyboard has been off before. Come on. There we go, that's cracked it off. The underside of this is remarkably clean. This whole thing is a lot cleaner than my existing T43. In fact, it hasn't been opened much because, and if we have to open it more, we have to remove all of these caps for the screws, which I'm hoping we don't have to do. So if we now open it up and push up on the base of the keyboard, and up it lifts. There we go, and then we can pop the connector off and be done. Now already I can see a 1 gigabyte stick of RAM. These take 2 max, so if there is another one sat underneath the machine, we're on to a winner, really. Put that back in there. Now this is the fan, which isn't turning at all, actually. Now the way we're going to do this is we're going to sort of see if we can manipulate it just to turn, really, because I don't want to have to strip it down anymore. So we'll turn it on. Oh, you can see it just trying to spin, but it's not going to. I'm afraid the fan is dead. Look, you can just see it just... I think it stopped trying now. Oh. Come on. Are we going to be able to break the crust? Ooh. No, well, it's saying a fan error now, but is that because... Is it going to just turn... Ooh, so, no. Right, that is not a happy little fan chappy. So, the next thing we need to do is take off this part here, which is the keyboard bezel itself. So to do that, I need to find a very tiny flat spade screwdriver, and we need to remove, sadly, all of these caps. Now you can still buy these. I have a set actually to fit to my T40 and T43, because they were missing completely, but these seem to be coming off nicely enough that they might well go back on. So if I'm a little bit careful plucking them off, if not, I can buy the kit. Buy them from China, and they take a while to arrive. It's a shame they don't do them for the other models, because some of my other ThinkPads could need it as well, which if I'm asked to do more videos, you will find out that none of my other ones need work. They will just be a "this is my ThinkPad" video. So with that now off, we need to remove yet more screws. We have 3 longer screws in the middle, 1, these are all labelled 4. If you know anything about ThinkPad, you'd have heard of the hardware maintenance manual, which is an absolutely fantastic resource, and it basically numbers all the screws, and you can go through and just pluck the screws out knowing which number they go back in. As long as you card them up so you can see, you're alright. So we have the front ones are very small and the middle ones are very big, so you know where they go. They look to be the original screws as well. That screwdriver is just a bit too big to be of any use. There we go. 2, 3, 4, and the last one is 5, which is a different screw. It is a dome-headed screw because I think it holds part of the PCI cage in place. And then if we open it up again, the whole thing just lifts off like so. So there is the palm rest assembly with the trackpad. Very, very dusty. It has an Intel card. I've just had to buy one of those for my other laptop. But most importantly of all, we can now get to the fan. And it's very, very dusty. Now what I'm about to do here is going to mean that I'm going to have to re-thermal paste this at some point, but we should be alright in this video to not have to do that. We're not going to be doing too much with it. So we undo the 3 screws on the heatsink. And it just lifts off and slides out like so, and the connector pulls off. Ugh. And the screws fall out. So there is our very yucky, very, very dirty heatsink, with sadly the perishing rubber foam, which always does go. You can also see that we have, in fact, the thermal paste is still loose, which is good. It's not solid. We have an Intel, where are we, 750, 1.86 gigahertz, so it's nearly the top range anyway, because they work much better than that afterwards, really. Now, annoyingly, I can't actually do anything with this, because there are 2 types of heatsink. One, you can unscrew and you can take the heatsink off and the fan off. This you can't. Bum. So I can't actually do anything about it, apart from sort of hope that we can get it a bit loose. On my other one, you can open it all up. This is pressed into place, which isn't terribly handy at all, really. Bother. Well, I'm going to poke around at this a bit and see if I can get it spinning a little bit more freely, and then we'll come back and see what we can do. So a little bit of prying later, and we have the fan off of the heatsink in a let's see what happens kind of way. Now if I lift that up there, we can see inside, and in theory that will just lift off. This is our problem. That is got yucky greasy crap all over the spindle, and I've left a little cloth just out of reach that I need to clean it off just a little bit. So literally just rub it around. The dirt, that's a fair little bit of dirt that came off just a little cooling fan. And we won't go nuts for now. I'm not going to go cleaning all the individual fins, I just want it to work. We'll give in here a bit of a wipe as well, just to help it with life itself. And then I'm just going to stick a little bit of furniture polish just in there, and then wipe the excess off, in the hope that it just provides a little bit of lubrication in lieu of a proper chemical. Ah, there we go, look. That is now spinning. Will it be enough, and can we get this back down? Well, let's try, because I'm hoping that the little crimp will just go back in and we can just use it, really. That's my whole hope from this, that I can push, and we can a little bit. It hasn't got to be perfect. I have destroyed the tarry, horrible remains of that, but we can probably replace that in time. There we go, look, that'll probably do it. For now, anyway. I mean, I imagine even a little bead of silicone around there would do it. I bent one of the cooling fins, two of the cooling fins, so we'll bend those back. 1, 2, that'll do. And this piece of metal tape did come off actually, but I don't think it's sticky enough to really go back on. So that will do for now, because we don't even know if it's going to be worth it. I'm just going to brush off some of the dust from in here, and now we can slide the fan back in. Plug it in as well, stick it down nice and square, and we'll just screw it down. The thermal paste is wet enough to be okay. I'm not too fussed about that, and obviously as soon as it works properly, it'll get, we can repaste it anyway. This is all just troubleshooting at the minute. So obviously this fan has to spin before it will do anything. Now why are you not going into place? I don't think I've got that quite square. It's all clipping down. Oh, there we go. 1, 2 and 3. We don't need the trackpad, we just need the keyboard for this part. And if I bring it a little bit closer so we can see the screen on camera. Oh, one spinning fan. Look at that. Now this is not going to boot now because there's no hard drive, but we'll just let it complain about that, and I shall just dust off the speaker assembly. Let's see if we can access IBM now. The fan's still spinning. That's good. It's very dusty. Does the think light work? That's quite critical. Yes, it does. Ah, fan error. What? I beg your pardon. No, the fan works, thank you. I think F2 is the BIOS. Yeah, the fan's ramping up fine. It's doing what my other T43 does. It's very, very fast. Ooh. Will we get another fan error? Are we? No, we're not. We have to check the time and date settings, and here is the BIOS, and we have from 2006 a 1.86 GHz Pentium processor with the full 204 megabytes of random access memory. So that is fantastic. The screen looks really good. The fan is ramping up a treat, which the T43 seemed to do. I think we should get this back together, put the hard drive back in and see what it does. So we'll pull that. I shall pause the camera because you don't want to see how it goes back together, and we shall come back when we are ready to try again. Well, hello, we are back together, and I have just set the date and time, and if I press F10 we have saved and exited the BIOS. So now the reboot should hopefully actually do something. The screen is looking whiter already, so I'm not quite sure why it was pink to start with. It's fine now. Fan is ramping up nicely. I don't know if it's going to boot into an OS. I haven't got that far. Let's see what is about to happen. Ooh, starting. Is that Windows? That's Windows 7. Oh crikey! So this has got Windows 7 on it. All right. The fan is grumbling away nicely. Don't know what. I was hoping it had XP in it, really, because I could have got into the admin account. This has got a password on it. This is a little bit. Here we go. This is going to be quite slow because these really weren't meant for Windows 7. They fly on XP and MX Linux. They like MX. Well, we have this admin. There is a password on the admin account. Ah, password hint password. Surely that's not that simple. It's probably going to say it's the wrong password. I'm amazed it's got Windows 7. Windows 7 Ultimate as well. 99p this cost me, and already I'm loving the screen. I don't know. I'm presuming it's about to say invalid password. It's just saying welcome at the minute. Oh. I'm looking at it in my viewfinder because I've got it turned around so you can see it. What's it going to do? Wow. Right. So we have a Windows 7. Already I can see lots of Tor browsers. Crikey, we're going to have a look around. It's actually running okay on Windows 7. I just want to go to the system to see that everything is in order. And yeah, we have. So let me show you a little bit better what we've got. So we have a Pentium M 1.87 GHz. So this is a single core with 2 GB of RAM. Windows is activated. This is interesting. This is. If we right click, we go to screen resolution. We have a 1400 by 1050 display, which is fantastic. And then we've got all of this. Look, this is a computer that has been used for its bacon. Let's see what happens if we open one of these Tor browsers. I'm a little bit worried I haven't ever tried Tor. Maybe I should. What else have we got down here? Battery is apparently charging. I'll be amazed if that's alive. There is no sound. Oh, it's trying to connect to the internet. No, you're not. No. Oh, we've got Norton 360. Look, that's bound to be good. uTorrent, we'll exit that. And Plex, I use Plex at home. Let's see. It's running very well. I mean, I've just loaded up the audio troubleshooter by accident. There is a very, very full hard drive. Oh, we have some music. We have Polika. Give you the... Oh, no, we don't have Polika. Give you the ghost. No pictures. And no videos. Oh. Lots of downloads. So this person liked Tor and torrenting, which is fair enough. There's nothing wrong with that. We've got Nicola, which is what we're logged into now, I think. So hi Nicola, if you're watching this. There doesn't seem to be much on here. I think I'm hoping I haven't got a computer that was used in some sort of drug deal or something. So having no space on the hard drive, well, I suppose Windows 7 is going to take a great deal of it by itself. So it's in this download folder. But so far the whole thing. Oh, here we go. Look. Lots of software really. Paragon hard drive manager, DigiGuide, TV guide, RC Russian. Oh crikey. Yeah, no, I don't care that there's no audio driver. Go away. I'm going to turn off this auto hide taskbar malarkey because I hate that. So I have turned off my anti-spyware protection, Norton. Wow. There we go, really. I don't know what any of this does or means. All I know is that my 99p laptop works fine. And it's going to get this wiped. I'm not keeping Windows 7 on it. The hard drive is very good. Just about hear it spinning. But, you know, I can't do too much about that. The X-Diag. But if we get SSD in time, I don't know what to run on it really, because I'll be honest, it's better than my existing T43, which I've just bought a new Wi-Fi card for. So who knows really? We have an ATI Radeon X300. Ignore the 830 meg of RAM, that's rubbish. I have about 64, I think. And there we go. Let's shut this down. Oh, what programs have we got? Nothing really. Let's see if Plex has got anything on it. Sorry, my camera's struggling to focus a little bit. Oh yeah, Plex is down here, isn't it? I don't think there's anything on here. I don't think. Obviously you're not going to be able to connect to the internet because I haven't got you on the flipping internet. In fact, I don't think you've got Wi-Fi drivers at all. There we go, look. Ooh. There's stuff on here. Ah, no, so obviously on a remote drive. Fair enough. Oh well. Right, I'm going to end this here. So thank you for watching me unbox and repair and boot my 99p Thinkpad T43. This is probably going to stay almost as it is. Although I might swap my bezel. I think I'm going to get one really good one. And the other one, I'm not sure, really. We shall see what happens. But there we go, all unboxed, all done. I hope you enjoyed it. Please critique and let me know if it is what you wanted to hear or not. That's not turning back on the battery, so I think the battery is scrap. Look, we can even peel off. There, look, there we go. Let's give that bit of a buff. You can say that you can see me peel off the protective covering on that bit there. I don't think there's one on this side, is there? No. That was peeled off a long time ago. There we go. Thank you very much for watching, and I shall see you soon for the usual vacuum cleaner related malarkey first. Although if you like this, please say I can do more. But for now, thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.